In my life, I've had a lot of ups and a lot of downs. I have good memories, and there are things I deeply regret. I carry burdens of my past. I carry a lot of guilt into my future. But we are human. We make mistakes, some bigger than others, but I reach my low. But it's only up from here. My name is Suntran, and this is my story. Yeah, so after grade 9, that's when it all really started, and my addiction became really bad, I would say. It started progressing, and it started in the summer of grade 9, going into grade 10, so going into high school. That was when I also started to, I guess, question a lot about who I was, about who I was supposed to be or who I'm gonna be. And I started questioning a lot about, out of all the things that happened to me, let's say in the last 5 years, was it supposed to happen to me? Was I meant to go through these things? Was there some big reason to show me some type of sign that I was supposed to go through this? And yeah, I get it. Whatever I had done, I did it. It's my fault. And a lot of times in that summer, I started to believe that when I started drinking and I started smoking, I thought, out of all the things I'd done, I deserve this, right? I deserve all these thoughts that are in my head. I deserve to be doing all these things to my body that were harmful. And I didn't really care, so I started to numb myself and self-medicate. I continued to self-harm. I was 15 at the time. So me thinking this was a sign and I deserve this, I'm gonna keep doing it if I deserve it. And I started to beat myself up about it because there was nothing I could do about it. I was 15, I was drinking, I was smoking, I was self-harming still. I didn't really care about life. I didn't care about where it was gonna go because I lived with that guilt and that fear and that pain of everything leading up to that point. And I just didn't know how to escape it. I couldn't tell anybody. I didn't want to tell anybody. I was afraid to tell anybody. And everything that was going on in my mind and what I was doing with my body, myself, my lungs, my liver, everything. None of my family knew, none of my friends knew, none of my coworkers knew. Nobody that was in my circle even knew. The only person that knew was myself. It was me. Because I couldn't live up to bring up that courage to tell somebody that, hey, I need help. I need someone to talk. I tried to hide all the signs for them to come forward to me to talk. I tried to hide it as much as I could. I was seeing a therapist, a counselor. I just really simply wanted to die at that point. And this was all in the summer going into grade 10. And it started getting worse and worse and worse throughout my high school year, because the more I drank, it would only numb it for that night, that day, that hour. And then I would be going from 2 drinks a day to 4. On to the next, it would be 6, 8. It would just keep doubling. And then it got to a point where I would go through so much that I didn't even know who I was anymore. And it wasn't just when I would go out to parties or whatever on the weekend, it just wasn't a party. It was just another day for me because I would already be drinking. So it would be every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday for about 4 or 5 years. And I lost myself. I don't even know how I'm still alive for how much I was consuming. I would mix so many things together. I just didn't care. I would wake up, have a drink. Go to school, have a drink. If I wasn't working, I wouldn't drink. But if I was working, then I would wait to get home. I would itch to have a drink. And I know in my life I've made a lot of mistakes. Like, I get that. I own up to it. But I still carry a lot of regret from it to this day. And I couldn't handle myself a lot. And I kept telling myself that I wasn't worth it. I just didn't know how else to handle it other than having a drink or having a smoke or whatever it was that I could get my hands on at that time, because I was only 15, 16, 17, and then 18. And then I remember when I first got into high school, everything from my past in like grade 9 and carried over, and I was bullied a lot too. I was bullied every day, whether it was online, between classes, lunch, whatever it was. So I didn't want to tell anybody about it. I didn't want to say anything to get them in trouble, because if I did, wouldn't I be bullied even more? Wouldn't I be hurt more the next time? And so I just didn't say anything about it because I was scared. I was afraid to say anything. And so I didn't say anything. And I tried to numb myself in that too. Whatever I wanted to say to anybody else of asking for help, I turned to a bottle of booze. So however much it was within a day, that's the balance that I tried to have in my mind of, I'm gonna numb myself and I'm not gonna care what it does to me, because I just want to forget this moment or what happened for a minute, an hour, a day, anything. And it got so bad that I just really genuinely wanted to die. What I think of it is, I didn't want to die. No, I didn't want to die. I just wanted the pain, the hurting to stop. That's what I wanted. I didn't want to die. I just wanted the pain and the hurt to stop. My addiction got really bad. And to anybody who's watching this and who is going through something like this, who has an addiction or who had one, or know anybody that does, it's okay to reach out for help. Coming from me now, I've been over a year sober. This past March, I was over a year. So by now it would be a year and 4-5 months. So yeah, I haven't smoked for over a year and however long too. It's okay to get help. It's okay to reach out. It's okay to speak up. You're not alone. You're just like me. Certain days are harder than others. Certain days I want to relapse. Certain days are very tempting to, but I haven't, because I know that once I do, I'm not going to make it out this time.
I know what it's like, bullied so bad I was sitting and cry when I'm thinking about taking my own life. Demons would scream, the voices would shout. I'm here just to tell you that that isn't the easy way out, but know that I'm sorry, should've never went through that. You got a friend in me when you're feeling low and need someone to chat. This is a problem with our generation. All of the love went away, now we're left with nothing but two